शंभो महादेव महादेव महादेव। ओम शांति। So in the last shloka we described about it is the desire that binds him to the physical plane, and there is no beginning to the desire. So where we explained that the beginning of desire here is in relation with the Jivatma, is in the relation with the connection of the rebirth. As I said in the last class also, in Taittiriya Upanishad we had explained about how the first desire comes through a process of evolution when the Jivatmas were brought, Jivatmas were formed, how the stagnation made them lead towards the desire. So this happens always. Whenever there is plentiness of something, when one gets saturated with something, when one gets stagnated with something, he desires for something else. The richest man, he will desire for something else. The one who doesn't have the riches, he will look for the wealth. The one he feels that he doesn't have, he looks for that. This is the nature of the mind and how this has started in the beginning. From where it has started has been explained in Taittiriya Upanishad. How we get attracted to how the first mind or first mind got a desire in him. How is it? There was no connection with the past karmas or past karma phalas. How did he get a desire? Yes. We all know that principle of the energy with stagnation of energy we lead towards something else. Same way, a mind which has fulfilled, or the ego which has fulfilled its desires, he will look for something. We can always have this example today that we have a desire to buy something. Somebody has had to strive for it for years in the life. Sometimes half of his lifetime or 3/4 of his lifetime he has spent to fulfill that desire that came to his mind to buy something. Let us say he wanted to buy a house. For a normal man to buy a house, these days, there are so many other facilities and all, but still, and it takes ages to assimilate that kind of money and then buy a place, build a house or buy a house or whatever it is. It takes quite a lot of time for him, for a normal person. It takes a lot of time, and he sacrificing or not looking towards his karmas or kartavyas. All his activities were concentrated or focused only how he can buy that house, you see. His desire was only that. He has even forgotten his kartavyas, he has forgotten his principles of life, he has forgotten his character, he will do anything for that, in the sense. Somehow or other he has to get that. After getting the house with all the problems of so many years and so many struggles, so many sacrifices or so many neglects of life, after he gets that, within few days time or within few hours time or within few minutes time, his desire changes, switches over to something else. See, now you can imagine how the beginning of the desire has come. When a stagnation has created, when a stagnation has come, when a fulfillment has been arrived by the mind, let it be the previous, the early days of life. His life was like animals only. He wanted to have food and then sleep, that's all. Eat, drink and sleep. From there, suddenly he got, gradually the desires have developed. Someday he got food. Someday he did not get food, so his desire for food started. Maybe it is absolutely necessary, but a desire for food has started. Now a particular kind of food has started. Like that it kept on multiplying. So it kept on multiplying and came to such a state today that we are totally immersed, entangled, into only desires, nothing other than that. We don't even know the true self. We don't even know what is my purpose of life. Who am I? I am identified or I am introduced with my desires. I introduce me as, as my desires, based on the desires. I am so and so, I am so and so, I am so and so. Who are you actually? We forgot to introduce. I used to tell this in my previous classes where in the Treta Yuga, Bhagavan Ram, when he introduced, he said that I am so and so son, Dasharatha Putra, and Vasishtha Shishya, he said, the Shishya, and the Kula, Surya Vamshi, and so and so, so and so. Only the last he introduced himself as Ram. Today we introduce ourselves as a professionalist. First he will say, I am an engineer, so and so, with such and such, my name is he. His desire is stuck on that his fame or his achievement, which is absolutely negligible or only one part of his life. But he will always start with that. He will always start with that. I am so and so, I am so and so. Then only the name and other things comes, you see. So what happens, even of course the name also, many people, they say, the other day I was listening to a satsang and somebody was asking that what is his, somebody was asked what is his father's name, he could say. What is his grandfather's name, he could say. What is his grandfather's father's name, that he could not say. When we have, and for some people, even the grandfather's name is not known to them. Only father's name is known. Things are like that, because we have connected, not connected. What does that mean? Does not that? Does it technically, is there anything wrong? No, nothing wrong. I'm not technically wrong. But what here what I'm addressing to is that the importance of our identity has changed. That's what I'm saying. Earlier, a kula or a house name, always, I remember when I was small and all that, they will always ask, from which house are you? That's how. They never ask you, who are you? Which house are you? So we have to say, our house name is there, or a family name is there. I am from such and such family. Oh, okay, in such and such family, whose grandson or whose, they come like that, you see. I think you must be remembering now those days. When I was very young, after that it was all gone. Now what I mean to say is that it's not that it is necessary. Is it necessary today? No, it is not necessary. I don't mean by that. I'm not talking about that, how is your memory power or how do you remember. The values have changed, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Today the value is concentrated only on the individual. So same way, the desires, what happened, when it is concentrated only on an individual body, individual mind, and individual requirements, individual fulfillment of the individual egos, when it comes to that, his desire multiplies. You see. When it is a common desire, it doesn't affect him that much. But when it is an individual desire or a personal desire, what we call today as, or an individual desire in the sense here I am saying, may not be the right language to use, but a desire for the sharira and for the money. As Swamiji has told that all the desires have been started with binds him to the physical plane. Only in the physical plane we require the desires. You see, otherwise in the spiritual plane there is no desire required. In a spiritual plane there is no comparison that what I have achieved, what I have not achieved. What should I get it, what should I not get it? No, or such desires have never crept into the mind or crept into the system when a person is spiritually motivated or spiritually developed or in the path of spiritual practices. In spiritual practices, whatever has been achieved is also okay, whatever has not been achieved is also okay. It has not been identified. An identification of achievement and non-achievement comes whenever there is a comfort and discomfort comes. When there is a comfort of this sharira and mana, we say we have achieved it. When it is not comfortable to the mind and body, we say we have not achieved it. A success. I had been just contemplating myself sometime. What is success? It's a big question today. What is success? What is success? In the Bhautika Jivan, success is compared to a relative term. Success is purely a relative term and an ego satisfaction. No? That I wanted so much of money, I have received it, I am successful. No? If I have not received it, I am a failure. This is what it is. If I have done my educational background or qualifications to a certain extent, depending upon my desire, then I say it is success. Again, it is connected with the desire only. Achievement of desire or fulfillment of desire. Whether it is an organizational fulfillment of desire, or whether it is an individual fulfillment of desire, or whether it is a desire fulfilled by an individual for the self, or for the society, or for the organization, not totally different. But they are all success, but they are all relative terms. They are all created only based on a particular desire, a particular situation, a particular circumstance. Well, it is there in the physical, in the Bhautika Jivan or materialistic life. As I told, when we go deep into Upanishadic studies, there is nothing called Bhautika or Adhyatma. Everything is Adhyatma only. There is nothing called Bhautika. But a division has been created only for people to make them understand materialistic or spiritualistic. Materialism is also spiritualism. Materialism is meant for spiritualism. Only thing, the materialism is a basic characteristics of spiritualism, but Adhyatma is the higher consciousness, through the process of higher consciousness or through the process of higher plane, that is spiritualism, where there is no desire, there is no attachment, and that's spiritualism. Ultimately, this all, even the material plane, in the material plane, whatever you desire, whatever you achieve, is also led to spiritualism, meant for satisfaction, happiness and things like that. Ultimately, one gets fed up of certain things. Depending upon the age, time and era, we get fed up of so many things. In our own life, we can see what we had been desiring at most at one point of time is at most at one point of time we neglect and reject. It is not necessary for us. You see, the one which were very important for us at one point of time has become most unimportant thing in life at one point of time, you see. Then what is the importance? Importance is only that in that particular era, particular time, depending upon particular physical needs, the physical needs, is it not required? Physical needs are required for a person who has not developed his mind into realization of the spirituality. What is this life meant for? Naturally, for him, he has to find the similar kind of experiences through materialism. it is easy to get yourself satisfied with materialism. So through those examples, you would know, and I continue, that anything that is created through the materialism and you have achieved it, you identify a pleasure out of it. And you know that all the pleasures are only temporary. But through these temporary pleasures, one is led towards the permanent pleasure. At one point of time, mind will say, what is this? Sometimes there is pleasure, sometimes there is happiness, sometimes there is sadness, sometimes there is hatred, sometimes, what is this status? I would like to be at one status at one point. This has to come to the mind. The mind has to get the taste of the pleasure, the taste of happiness, the taste of achievement, the taste of fulfillment. This has to happen. That is why that lower plane activities connecting towards the satisfaction of the mind, which will lead him towards spiritualism, is called materialism. Got it? So ultimately, what is that? Again, because of materialism only, he was led to this spiritualism. For a man who is at a lower stage, that means where he has not developed his mind towards the self-consciousness, or he has not tried his knowledge, and he has not tried his efficiency into identification of the self, or identification of the true nature of the self, true nature of the physical body, true nature of the mind, he always gets attracted and attached to the simplest possible way that it has to be achieved is through spiritualism, through materialism. So this is how he gains the initial experiences of it. Through these initial experiences, the mind gets, as I told you some time back, that gets saturated. The mind gets fed up, what we call as saturated or fed up with these things, and looks for the permanent pleasure, permanent happiness through the process of vanaprastha, through the process of sannyasa, through the process of the moksha, mukti. This is the process of that. So naturally what happens? The desire is more. That's why Swamiji has specifically said that the desire binds him to the physical plane. The requirement is for the physical plane, and that desire binds him with the physical plane. He also binds it. He created the desire for the physical plane, one. Second is that because he has created the desire for physical plane, that desire at one point of time, even though the physical plane is the one which wanted the desire to help him, but at one point of time, the desire has taken over the physical plane, and the whole physical plane has been conquered by the desire. There are two things. One is that he says binds him in the physical plane. Now, binding him has been created because the physical plane was there, he has created the desire. Ultimately, multiplication of that desire has bound him. So, you see, look at us. How many small egos and desires we are bound by. Success everywhere. Behind the mind, what happens? Everyone wants success. Everyone wants one step ahead of the other. Everyone wants that whatever I think should become right. Should become right. That's it. Whether it is right or wrong, that's a different thing. We always think whatever I do should become right. So this ego, that ego, what makes him commit a lot of mistakes, commit a lot of wrong things, makes him deviate his paths in life. Gradually, he deviates his path and then goes to achievement of those desires which was not really necessary for him. Even for physical plane, there are so many things which are not required, but we are desiring it and want to fulfill it, and we stick on to that, we hold on to that. So this desire has become a prime. He captured you. The desire has captured the physical plane. Ultimately, in the name of physical plane, what appears to be there is only total desire. Nothing other than that. Each and everything is culminated into the form of desire, the form of imaginary way of living, all imaginary way of living. all things that which is fiction, not the thinking that, oh, this should happen, this will happen, this has happened. And this is how I said about the successful success. Success is a pure relative term. In the corporate world, success has been great achievement that has been created. That achievement, yes, I don't deny that it is there, but we cannot call it, literally we cannot call it as a success. We can only say that whatever in the corporate world, whatever desires, whatever requirements are necessary at that point of time, when we achieve that, they called it as a success, even though, but we, as I said that, is it really a success? It is not really a success. It's a fulfillment of a particular desire, maybe for a cause at that point of time which was necessary, or which was felt by somebody which is important. But that desire or that achievement did not take that organization or take that individual throughout the life, did he? No. How many desires, how many successes he has to achieve throughout the life. Yesterday he achieved success in such and such field. Today he has to achieve success in another field. Tomorrow he has to achieve success in some other field. No? Initially for studies, secondly for the work, third for the achievement of the requirement of the work, third that work every day, the moment you achieve something successful, we called it as successful, next day another assignment waits you for your success. After achieving that success, third assignment waits you for the success. What is success? Is it success? Vijaya. Right? Success, no? Vijaya. Vijaya is that Jaya over something. Winning over something. Then only that success comes. Winning over what? Winning over what is called success? What should you win over? Let us analyze it. Start from beginning. Starting from food. Okay. I must have lunch today, so I will be successful. Tomorrow, if I sleep well, I am successful. Tomorrow I achieve something, that what I wanted for those small things. That is success. Like this, if you keep on traveling towards that success what you want, ultimately you will reach what is success. Is that Jaya, Vijaya over what? Jaya. Jaya on this, Jaya on that, Jaya on that, Jaya on that. What is a Vijaya on everything? The Vijaya on everything is what? What is the ultimate success or the true success when you call it as a real success? The real success is that the fulfillment and identification of the life and living. That's called moksha or mukti. Identification of the self. When I have identified who is the cause of this malpractices and malfunctions of success, who is this who is creating these temporary pleasures in me by achieving temporary successes, what we call as success. Even though they are not success, my ego is satisfied with achievement of success. I have cheated somebody, I qualify myself as a successful man. It's not in business. The whole world is living like that. He wins over somebody out, he cheating somebody, and he won over. He won over him or won over his activities by doing a particular deceiving, and he says, I was successful in the competition. They call it as competition. I am successful in the competition. Now we can analyze each and everything, no doubt. What is competition? What is competition then? What is competing? Competing with somebody else, we call it as competition. Competing with the self is called real competition. No? Earlier days there used to be Shastrartha competition. They never called it as a competition. What is the word for competition you call? Okay, I'm not getting the right word. The competition is that. What is competition? Competing somebody is not it's a Sanskrit. Competing somebody is not the competition actually. It's not the right competition. As I told you, that's temporary. I win over somebody. Okay. Arjuna won the war. Arjuna hit the eye of this one moving fish. In the competition, he has won the competition. Is it the competition? What do you call it? That's temporary again. And that importance has been lost throughout his life. Was there any significance for that? No, after that. No. After he has achieved it, he has married so and so, and after that, what happened then? That significance is lost. So that competition has no significance in life after that, you see. That temporarily for some time in that situation, that has helped. What is the actual competition? Competing with what? Competing with the self, the progress of the self is called the real competition. Competition is that how much I have improved myself, how much I have improved myself in identification of the self should be the competition. Compete your yesterday with today, compete your today with tomorrow, compete your tomorrow with day after tomorrow. Competing that, and then achievement out of that can be called as a successful. That's why I said Vijaya. Vijaya over what? Vijaya over the life. Vijaya over the knowledge of identification of the self. Jnanam. Acquirement of the absolute Jnanam. When I acquired the absolute Jnanam, when I have identified myself completely, who is the self, who am I and what am I, and all this identification, this is called the absolute success. Then you have been successful. Why? Because after achieving that successfulness, again this exercise is no more required for achieving another success. Whereas in the normal success, what we are calling, we have to, every day, every moment we have to achieve one success. It's not a permanent nature what I am talking about. The permanent nature of Vijaya is that Jaya or Vijaya. Jaya over what? Jaya over my karmas, Jaya over my thoughts, Jaya over my desires, Jaya over my kartavya, Jaya over my karmas, Jaya over my characters, Jaya over my Panchendriyas, Jaya over my Dashendriyas, Jaya over my mana, and Jaya over my intellect, Antakarana, Jaya over my Atma is called the Vijaya, ultimate. This is the true success. That's a true success. When I achieve the true success, then only, I achieved it. Then there is no need of repetition of the success again. In that, is there any repetition again? No. There is no coming back. There's no. That is called the true success. That's called the Vijaya. Otherwise, your Jaya, Parajaya. We call it as Parajaya. In spirituality, there is no Parajaya. Every step you have learned is a Jaya. That's all. Yesterday I learned so much is a Jaya. I have not learned that is not a Parajaya. Because I have not attempted that. But in spirituality, whatever I have attempted, I have achieved. Jaya. Is it not? In spirituality, whatever you have attempted, you have achieved. You wanted to learn this particular tattva, you have learned it, achieved it, understood the meaning, practiced it. You wanted to take sannyasa, you took sannyasa, and you started practicing sannyasa. There is no parajaya in that. Everything is okay. Sannyasi has not become like great. He has started that. It's a jaya. It's a jaya. Again, he need not repeat the same thing. He has to go forward only. It's not repeating the same number of jayas are not necessary. It's number of times he need not to take sannyasa. It's not there. Once taking sannyasa is good enough. You got it? Number of times it is not to be repeated is called the jaya. So there in spirituality, the vijaya, everything is vijaya. There is no parajaya at all. There is no parajaya. Jaya of somebody else is called the parajaya. Actually speaking, that's a true meaning. Parajaya is not failure. The failure, that's why I said in spirituality there is no failure. There is no parajaya. Jaya is only there. Mine is only Jaya. There is no parajaya. So in English when you translate it, success and failure. There is no failure. There is para, Jaya is not there. In spirituality, one word, that's Jaya. So you each and every step you cross. Okay, you crossed only one step. Another man crossed 10 steps. Both are Jaya. Not that you are Parajaya, because a comparison with him is not there. Competition with him is not there. This is what I said. Competition with me. Yesterday I took one step, today I will take 2 steps. He took 10 steps, today he is taking 20 steps, or today he is not taking any step. I am not worried about it. I am not concerned about it, because there is no competition there, because each one's progress is depending upon one's own activity, not looking or comparing with the other person in spirituality. This is why there is no failure, there is no parajaya in spirituality, there is only jaya in spirituality. Each and every step you have progressed so much, that's a jaya. We call it as a progress. We never call it spirituality, you did not progress 90%. No. Spirituality, what is that? You progressed 10%, you progressed this much, you progressed, that's all. Because there is no quantum, cannot be measured. Ultimately, what you achieve is that the total absolute liberation. That liberation can be achieved within a fraction of a second. No time, no space. It can be achieved in 100 years also. Both are okay. One who has got the intensity and capability and the past life karmas and experiences and the right guru, right shiksha, right disciple, right discipline in life, he achieves the success, or he achieves the jaya, vijaya, or attainment of the absolute in a fraction of a second. Or someone else, he takes 100 years. Who is wrong? Who is? Both are right. There's no problem at all. Both are absolutely right. There is no problem. So there is no parajaya. You understood what I mean by competition and success? Very relative terms connected with the lower consciousness achievements. That's all. It is there. These words are there. These practices are there. I don't deny that. In our materialistic world, it is there. We also use those words many times. Okay. I have been successful in my examination. I have been successful in my interview. But we have to qualify what is that success in the interview, in the studies, or in achievement of the job, achievement of money, achievement of life. Nobody has told today, or till today, I have been successful in life. That is never a point of discussion, is it not? Have anywhere a common discussion there that I am very successful? Have you heard anybody talking to you that, look, hey, I have been very successful in my life? Has anybody told so? No. Unless that can be told, the success is not achieved. No? Unless that is the true success. That's called the Vijaya. That's why in Sanskrit word Jaya. Jaya is what? Jaya is that uplift. Jaya, hey. Jaya, hey, Jaya, hey. We call it Jaya, Jaya, hey. Jaya is that just going up. Jaya. That means glories to you. Jaya to you. That means Jaya means there we can say that the translation is success. It is not actually success. Jaya is traveling towards the absolute. Jaya is that you are taking one step ahead of yesterday, ahead of the previous one. One step ahead of the previous one is called a Jaya. That's all. This is called a Jaya. So Jaya in life has not been told, because after having a Jaya, the man himself will not be there. He is in the higher consciousness. So he never addresses himself as he has been successful in life. Others will tell that after that man has died and all that. Others will say, oh, he has been very successful in life. He can say, they can write. But that's all on what basis? This cannot be calculated, or this cannot be compared, or this cannot be analyzed, or this cannot be identified through materialistic experiences. That is not success. Even though that word and that practice is still, we are all using that word, we are all doing that practice, we all understand that is called a success. How much our ego, this success in materialistic life, whenever you achieve, do you know how much of ego is multiplied in you? The moment I become successful in something, my ego goes very high. Whereas in spirituality, in each step you achieve a jaya, your ego goes down. This is the difference between these two. In materialism, every success you achieve, your ego goes up. I could do that. I can do it. I could do this. In each and every step you achieve through spiritualism, your ego goes down. It says that I am nearing to that absolute. I am nearing to that absolute. Oh, Shanti, how peaceful it is. How wonderful it is. How beautiful it is. We start appreciating, we glorifying that. Our ego, when we glorify something else, our ego goes down. Is why we have to pray to the God, we say. We have to pray to the God, we have to praise the name of the, God, like glories to the God. Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jaya Ram. Whom are you calling Jaya Ram? The God has got the Jaya and Vijaya of everything, but you call it as Jaya Ram. Rama Jaya. Rama, what is the meaning of Jaya Ram? Jaya Ram. Rama Jaya. Right, that's a poetic version is Jaya Ram. What is the prose? Rama Jaya. Attainment of Rama is Jaya. Rama Jaya. Rama Jayam, Rama Jayam, Jaya Rama Jayam. That's a song, that's a kirtan. Jaya Rama Jaya, Jaya Rama Jaya, Jaya Rama Jaya. A rhythmic, this one only for that Jaya. The prefix Jaya to Ram has come actually in a poetic form. Whereas in a prose form, Rama is Jaya. Let us put it that way. Rama is Jaya. That means identifying Rama is Jaya. What is Rama again? Identifying the absolute consciousness, identifying the godliness, identifying the absolute consciousness is called Jaya. Is there any Parajaya? I have not called Rama. I did not say Jaya Ram. I didn't say is it a Parajaya? We never said that, no. It's not a Parajaya. There is no word. In spirituality, there is no word called, in dictionary of spirituality, there is no word called Parajaya. Everything is Jaya. Rama Jaya. Krishna Jaya. Shiva Jaya. Everything is Jaya. When I glorify my... Why it is Jaya? Because when I chant the glorification of the God, in the name of anybody for that matter, Rama, Krishna, Jaya, Shiva, anybody, that is a Jaya of what? Me. Jaya of me. Ram doesn't require Jaya. Krishna doesn't require Jaya. Who wants Jaya? I want Jaya. When I glorify myself, what happened? My ego level has come down, so my Jaya. What is the Jaya here? Success? Jaya over the ego. Winning over the ego is success. That's the meaning of it. Winning over the ego is called the success. When you won over the success, when you won over the ego of you, whenever the false ego, that means ahankara, whenever you win over the ahankara of you, it is called the success, it is called the Jaya, Vijaya. You are winning over your ego. That means you are winning over you is called the Jaya. Not winning over the other things or others and other matter or other material or acquirement of material, achievement of this, achievement of that is not called a success or Jaya. The Jaya, true meaning of Jaya is that, that's why it's called Jaya. Jaya is that Jaya over your ego through spiritual practices, as I told you, through material practice. I repeat this again, Through material practices, every jaya that you achieve, every success you achieve, you boost up your ego further. Whereas in every jaya you achieve through spiritualism, jaya, your ego goes down and you win over the jaya, win over the ego of you, you win over the ahankara of you. The moment you win over the ahankara of you, you attain the absolute. When you attain the absolute, nobody is there to tell you whether you are successful or not successful. Let me call it as that way, jaya or parajaya. Is there anybody to say? No, you are already Ishvara. You are already the higher consciousness. You are the higher conscious. You are the higher consciousness and you are the absolute. When you are the absolute, nobody is there to tell you have been successful. No. Because there is no comparison, there is no competition. Neither comparison nor competition is there in this spirituality. These competitions and comparisons in the material life is only to make you understand at one point of time, look, hey, after 60 years of life or 70 years of life, when you look back, was all the competitions, were all the comparisons, was it of any use to you? Look at that. Not even one. Today we are all on certain age, grown up to certain age. Sit and look back. All your comparisons, all your competition, did it bring anything? Yes, brought you temporary ego satisfaction, boosted up your ego. Yes. I have won over him. I always tell that. No? Like Alexander. I won over that country. I won over that man. I did win over that examination. I did win over this. I did win over that. I did win over that. No, that's all. I have become successful there. I have become successful in such and such doing that. I have become successful that in this, that. Then, are you successful with you? Could you control your anger? Could you control your anger? उनका गुस्सा आ जाता है. You have no control over it. Is it a success? Sign of success? If you are successful, you should have won over your emotion. You should have won over your desire. You should have won over your achievement nature. You should have won over attractions and things like that. You should have won over your desires for the material self. Could you win over all these things? But you won over all that. But you did not win over your own small desire of yours, win over small emotion of yours, your own small unwanted things, thoughts of yours. Could you win over your thoughts? Have you got any control on your thought? If you have got control on your thought, you have won over your thought. If you have won over your thought, your ego will go down. But if you have won over others, a small king becomes a Chakravarti, then he becomes an emperor, then he becomes so and so, then he becomes, that's all. His ego gets boosted up, that's all. Multiplies his ego. Ultimately, he is not identified as he, but he is identified as his ego. That's all. It's called Ahankara. Kamsa. Today, we all refer Kamsa for Ahankara, is it not? Don't behave like Kamsa. वो कंस है, कंस है, ऐसे तो बोलते हैं ना. So the name has become an ahankara actually, He identified as an ahankara. You will be identified as an ahankara if you don't win over your egos. Your ahankara, you will be identified as an ahankara only, not the real you, because the real you has been veiled. Real you has been veiled and covered, by that ahankara. This is the true sense of it. That's why he said about binds him to the physical plane. Absolutely. pure ego satisfaction, success. So the competition, comparison and success, they are the relatives to each other. They are all related to each other. They are all relative terms. The true Vijaya is winning over you, winning over your ahankara, winning over the identification, that ultimate, as I told you, each and every step you progress in the spirituality, there's only word called Vijaya. There is no Parajaya, there is no failure there in the word. We have to, I had been repeating these words number of times today, only to emphasize in our minds, to absorb it and engrave it in the mind so that we really understand and we apply in our life that let us not be egoistic and boost up our egos just by small successes you achieve in your material life. No problem, you are achieving it, I am not denying it. They are all temporary and temporary pleasures, but those temporary pleasures boost up your ego, and then we call it as boosting up of egos. Actually, what is that happening? You are only making your ego as more important, is called boosting up of ego. Your ego has been given more importance than yourself. That's called boosting up of ego. So whenever you have these successes, this happens. It doesn't matter. In our material life, people who are not into spiritual path, in the material life, they will achieve it. Now, I'm not condemning it. They will achieve it because that's a way of life for them. Because they have not understood the true self. They have not understood the meaning of identification of the Paramatma. They have not identified the absoluteness. But they are still in the ignorance of that. That's called ignorance. They are in the ignorance of that. That's why they are entangled with materialistic satisfactions. That's why they are entangled with materialistic success. They are entangled or attached with the materialistic competition and comparison. Materialistic competition, comparison and success will only give the ego boost, and then it doesn't matter, it can happen, it will keep on happening till the time you divert your path or you achieve or you reach the path towards the self-realization. Let it keep on going. But only one small thing you have to add to that. People who are listening to this, people who are understanding that, look, this is the truth. Yes, we had been, see how many successes we had from childhood to now. Number of successes, number of failures. Is it not? So many. But that has not reached me towards any of the absolute. You see, this has to be identified. So, my advice is that to them, that whoever is achieving and these desires and these achievements, they should understand they are successful in that particular activity that they were conducting, no doubt about it. They have been successful, but that's a temporary achievement, there is a temporary pleasure. Correct? It's absolutely a relative term to that particular circumstance and situation, very, very temporary, but identify and understand, make yourself understand, look, this is not called success. This is only a small temporary phase of the materialistic life, that's all. That doesn't reach you towards the ultimate of your life. When you reach the ultimate of your life, is called the success, the Vijaya of that. So, you achieve it, nothing wrong. But by achieving that, be careful not to boost your ego by that, not to grow your ego. Let that ego be suppressed and kept down. When you understand this reality, then you will not allow the ego to go up and say that tomorrow, I have become successful in that. No. That will eat you. See, the moment the ego is boosted up, what is the wrong in boosting up the ego? The moment the ego is boosted up, the reality will be hidden from your mind. Your function of the karma, next karma to be done, or the process of thinking towards the next step will be blocked by that, because you will come to stagnation there. I have become successful. I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to listen to anybody. I don't have to do that. I don't have to. This will be the attitude the moment your ego is boosted up. No. Let that ego be at the very, very bottom level of it. Let it be there, but it will be very bottom level of it. Identify the truth of it. That is not the success. The Vijaya over your Indriyas, Vijaya over your Mana, Vijaya over your Ahankara, Vijaya over your thoughts, Vijaya over your Antakarana, Vijaya over your Atma is called, and attainment of the Paramatma, the Absolute, is called the Param Jaya Vijaya. Okay. This is the success. That is why Swamiji has explained the desires are attached and binds him with the physical plane. Right? Correct? It's a beautiful stuff to be understood. Let us understand it. Still our ego will say that I have become successful. Doesn't matter. For a moment or two or for a day, enjoy that. Doesn't matter. But next day morning you tell yourself, look, hey boy, come on, what happened yesterday is only an ego booster. And nowadays that boost drink is there, no? Boost. Is it boost? Eh? That boost drink, how much boost can be given to the energy? Only for some time. It is like that only. Boost for some time. So one day you, doesn't matter, take care. If you cannot control your ego ultimately, I am not saying that overnight it will happen, but take care for one evening, one day, or 1 hour, or 2 hours, or 10 hours, you have that boost, and after that release, that it will automatically go away. Next day morning, realize that, look, yesterday what you had is only that boost you had, that Horlicks boost that you had, that's already digested, that is gone, and people have forgotten about it. Today's success is not remembered tomorrow. It's only in the history, it is written sometime later, after you die. Okay, so if even great people's success has been remembered, not remembered. Picasso was never remembered when he was living. After he died, only his paintings were, I think, if I understand right. Did I do I? Yes. So this is what happens. Don't forget, see, nobody. People's appreciation or not appreciation is not a matter to you. Do your karma, justify that. Be attached to the dharma with yourself. The appreciation and depreciation or the success and failure, the others are characterizing and qualifying and coloring that is depending upon their convenience and their requirements and the requirements of situation and circumstances. But the true success is within you, and you have to identify this. At least inside you, let that boost, let that ego boosting up, don't creep into your system and make you cripple down with that activities of further of your life. This is what I have to say for that. Okay. I think Shloka 11 will take tomorrow. Today's session is done. It's okay. Om Shanti.